Hello from Tennessee. I'm going to talk a little bit about the direction I'm going with collecting. Be right back. So, recently, within the last few months, I acquired what is my first luxury watch. And this is, of course, the Tudor Black Bay 41. Love this thing. Gets a lot of wear time. And again, super enjoying it. And as I've stated in some other videos, it's really got me thinking about the direction I want to go with collecting. And I'm kind of putting a hint on the table right now in terms of what I think I've decided. I think the crazy thing about this hobby is we as collectors can get a train of thought and it could shift, before I finish this video. But I feel fairly certain this is the direction I want to go for this year, and for the rest of the year, I should say. One of my latest acquisitions was the Christopher Ward. And I know by some accounts, some may not consider them a micro brand, but for the purposes of the direction I'm going in, I think I'm going to consider them a micro brand for the time being. I also have my Bunker here, another micro brand, of course, Traska here, and an Aqua Dive. So I would consider them all micro brands. I think that, like I said, I think that definition shifts. But in my opinion, I do believe that to be the case. But again, this video is really not so much about that, but it is the direction I want to go collecting forward. I have an incoming watch right now that I purchased from the man himself, Mr. Zelos. You all know who he is, or most of you do. I have a Zelos black tip desert sand coming in, and I'm super excited. I think I've only experienced one other Zelos, which was, I'm kind of blanking. It was the GMT one. I think that's maybe the Horizons, possibly. Thresher, maybe. I forget. I'm sorry. I didn't really connect with that one, but this black tip, I really like. I like that it's much thinner than a lot of the watches that Zelos offers. It has what looks like an amazing bracelet on it with the micro adjust clasp that I think is just amazing. And the fact that micro brands, Christopher Ward offers that up too as well. And those types, I'm going to go on a tangent for a second, but those types of clasps, it's going to be hard not to buy a watch that doesn't have that kind of micro adjust now. It's one of those things that, you kind of just deal with your watch and, the changing of it being too loose or too tight, depending on what's going on, weather-wise and with your wrist swelling and so forth. But I'm telling you that Christopher Ward's a ball to wear, because, if the watch is a little uncomfortable, you just give it a quick click and you're on your way to instant comfort. And the Zelos has the same thing. So I think for the rest of my watch budget this year, which it is unfortunately slowly running out, which means I'd be forced to flip if I want to continue to buy. But I still have, I still have enough for a couple more watches, and I've decided just to kind of stay in the micro brand territory. Oh, also this year I got to experience a Mitch Mason that was a great watch. I should say a great little watch. From a size standpoint, I just didn't really connect with it. It was just a little bit too small for my liking. My wrist is a 7.25. I do have my eye on a couple other watches. I've been looking at, or a couple watch brands, micro brands. I really am starting to get an interest in Boulder, and I'm also starting to get an interest in Cincinnati Watch. There's a diver that I'm hoping to pick up from them. So I've got a couple things in my sights right now. I'm lucky to be part of an awesome community where stuff gets flipped often. So I'm hoping to be able to pick something up maybe there too as well. But I'm definitely on the lookout for micro brands. So that's it for now. I think just like I'd indicated, I think it's challenging to figure out direction, and I think I got off track a little bit when I was talking about the Black Bay, because for quite a while too, I was thinking about consolidating and perhaps going after another high-end watch, and I think as a collector right now, I'm just so new, being a couple years in, that there's just so many watches at the lower price tier that I have not experienced or owned, that I still want to experience. And part of the caveat to that too as well is that I want to be able to maybe eventually flip out of them. So I'm trying to buy smartly too as well, so I don't lose a lot. I mean, I would expect to lose a little bit on some. However, I'm hoping at some point when this phase is done that I can, flip back out and, go to wherever that next tier is if I decide to, or maybe I just stay here. And I think that's the fun thing about collecting is we all try to determine a strategy because there's so many watches out there, there's so much we can do, and for most of us, we have limited resources. So, kind of a common theme that I often talk about. But for me right now, I'm excited. I'm excited to get that Zelos in. I'm hoping to be able to get onto that Cincinnati watch. I think that's my number one contender right now for the next purchase. And continue to look to see if something great pops up in the flipper section of the Discord I'm into as well. So that's it. As always, stay positive, make friends, enjoy the journey, and take care. Talk to you soon.